I told 2 friends about Fabergé organic shampoo with pure wheat drum oil and honey, and they told 2 friends, and so on. Hey!
The 1970s gave us a lot of things that still feel familiar today. The music, the fashion, the way homes looked and felt, but it also gave us a long list of products that, looking back now, feel just a little strange. Looking back now, it's not just surprising that these products existed, it's surprising how normal they felt while they were here. Number 1. Bain de Soleil Orange Jallet.
In Saint-Tropez, almost all they wear is the deep, dark color of
Bain de Soleil for the Saint-Tropez.
Bain de Soleil.
One of the strangest ideas from the 1970s was something marketed as sunscreen that barely protected you at all. Bain de Soleil. Orange Jallet was all about achieving that perfect deep tan, and people used it with the belief that it was helping them do something good for their skin, even as they spent hours sitting directly in the sun. The texture, the color, the ritual of applying it and waiting for results, it all became part of summer in a way that felt completely ordinary at the time. The goal wasn't to avoid the sun, but to lean into it, to come away with a color that signaled you had spent time outside. What makes it even more surprising is that when it finally disappeared decades later, people didn't just move on. They went looking for it again, as if it had been part of something they weren't ready to let go of. Number 2. Sea and Ski Tanning Butter.
Henry, see and ski me.
Joni, see and ski me.
See and ski me, 'cause see and ski tan too, as dark as you can be.
Meet the Sea and Ski Dark Tanning Oils and Lotions with a special Fabra ingredient that helps keep out the sun's burning rays while letting in the sun's tanning rays.
If the idea of orange Jallet wasn't enough, there was also tanning butter, which took the same idea even further. Instead of protecting the skin, it helped intensify exposure, encouraging people to sit in the sun longer and come away darker. At the time, a deep tan wasn't seen as a risk. It was a goal. It meant you had been outside, that you had the time and freedom to spend long afternoons in the sun. Products like this weren't questioned because they matched what people wanted. Looking back now, the idea feels almost backwards, but in the 1970s, it was just another part of the routine. Number 3. Erase Coverup Stick. Not every product was dramatic or attention-grabbing. Some of them were quiet, practical, and always within reach, like the Erase Coverup Stick. It lived in purses, bathroom drawers, or jacket pockets, ready to fix something quickly without drawing attention. It wasn't about transformation or style. It was about small adjustments, about making something disappear just enough to feel more comfortable walking out the door. For many people, it became one of those everyday essentials that you didn't really notice until it wasn't there anymore. Number 4. Earthborne Herbal Shampoo.
I like things clean and simple in my life and on my hair. Earthborne's the only thing I use to make things natural there.
All I use is Earthborne shampoo, non-alkaline and low pH for a more natural cleaning conditions. Clean and simple.
There was something about the word herbal in the 1970s that carried a certain weight. It suggested something cleaner, more natural, more thoughtful, even if no one really stopped to define what that meant.
Your skin has a complexion. Your hair has a complexion too. Alkaline shampoos can dull hair complexion. They leave alkaline residue. But non-alkaline Earthborne removes that residue, improves hair complexion. An alkaline shampoo solution turned this test paper dark, but Earthborne removes alkali from this dried paper just as it will from your hair.
Earthborne Herbal Shampoo fit perfectly into that mindset. Using it felt like a step toward something better, like you were making a smarter choice without having to think too hard about it. It wasn't just about washing your hair. It was about the feeling that you were doing something slightly more advanced, slightly more refined than before. Number 5. Ogleby Home Permanent Kit.
Usually I get things right. I do, but not my perms. Almost right, not quite right. Wrong. So now what? Precisely right by Ogleby. The perm you can't get wrong because it shuts itself off, so it won't over-perm or frizz. Look.
Few products captured the do-it-yourself spirit of the decade quite like the Home Permanent Kit. Instead of going to a salon, people could recreate the same process in their own bathrooms, turning a regular evening into something that felt halfway between a beauty routine and an experiment. The smell alone is something many people still remember, along with the curlers, the waiting, and the uncertainty of how it would all turn out. It required patience and a certain level of commitment, But when it worked, it felt like a complete transformation. And that possibility was enough to keep people coming back to it. If you enjoy rediscovering the everyday things that made the past feel the way it did, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube and follow me on Facebook. I share new nostalgia videos every week, and chances are one of them will remind you of something you haven't thought about in years. Number 6. Short and Sassy Shampoo.
Go ahead, blow dry your hair. You'll get some body. But Dorothy Hamill needs more than that to make her hair look and feel its best. She uses Short and Sassy Shampoo. It gives her hair lots of body, and something a blow dryer won't give her, shine.
Some products weren't just about what they did, they were about what they represented. Short and Sassy Shampoo was tied directly to one of the most recognizable hairstyles of the decade, and using it felt like stepping into that same image.
Dorothy Hamill for Clairol Short and Sassy.
The longest it was about just to the top of my shoulders. Straight bangs. And I used to pull it back like this. Now with short hair, I need more body. So I use Clairol Short and Sassy, the conditioner for short hair. Even after blow drying, Short and Sassy makes it shiny and gives it body. And let's face it, without body, short hair is just short hair.
Clairol Short and Sassy, with twice the protein of the leading conditioner.
For the short and sassy look.
It wasn't just about clean hair, it was about being part of a moment, about aligning yourself with something popular and widely recognized. For many people, that connection mattered just as much as the product itself. Number 7. Heaven Scent Perfume.
Most of the time, I'm very, very good. But sometimes, well, let's just put it this way. It's a good thing you don't have to be an angel to wear Heaven Scent. Heaven Scent.
For a lot of teenage girls, Heaven Scent wasn't just another fragrance. It was the first one that felt personal. It carried a soft, powdery sweetness that made it approachable and easy to wear, something that felt just grown up enough without being overwhelming. Spraying it on became part of getting ready, part of stepping into a slightly different version of yourself. Over time, scents like this became tied to memory in a way few other products could match. Even years later, catching something similar can bring everything back instantly. Number 8. Aziza Eye Makeup.
My eyes are not the greatest, but I know what to do about it.
Aziza demonstrates how our shadow trios make your eyes sensational. Put the pale shade on brow bone, the medium on lid, the dark in the crease. It's so easy with the Aziza 3-shade formula.
Aziza stood out because it invited experimentation. The colors were bold, the packaging was memorable, and it felt like something designed specifically for younger people who were still figuring out their style. It gave you the freedom to try something different, to step outside of what felt safe, even if the results didn't always look perfect. That sense of freedom made it more than just makeup, it made it part of growing up. Number 9. Fabergé Organics Shampoo.
I told 2 friends about Fabergé Organic Shampoo with pure wheat drum oil and honey, and they told 2 friends, and so on. Hey, that's not Fabergé Organic Shampoo. It isn't? It's an imitator. They're not all the same, so be sure it's Fabergé.
Like many products of the time, Fabergé Organics leaned heavily on the idea of being natural, using ingredients that sounded wholesome and reassuring. Using it felt like you were making a better choice, like you were taking care of yourself in a more thoughtful way. It carried a sense of sophistication, even if the reality behind it was more complicated. At the time, though, perception mattered more than anything else, and this product delivered exactly what people expected. And now I'd really like to hear from you. Which of these do you actually remember using or seeing in someone else's house? Let me know in the comments, because chances are someone else remembers it exactly the same way. Number 10. Yardley of London, Teen Era.
I was rather naive about perfume. And then I discovered Yardley mini sprays. Most fragrances stop behind your ears, but Yardley mini sprays go further. In fact, they go anywhere you want. And I suddenly realized a girl gets kissed in lots of places.
One of the most unusual shifts of the decade was watching a long-established, traditional brand suddenly connect with a completely different audience.
Paint a dolly little flower. Glimerick. Paint above your eyes with shine. Glimerick. Paint in little lower lashes. Glimerick. Paint a shimmer glimmer line. Limerick. New Limerick eye paint from Yardley makes blue eyes bluer, green eyes greener, makes eyes wild, mild, soft or tender.
Yardley of London, with its long history and refined image, found itself becoming part of teenage culture, offering products that felt playful, accessible, and surprisingly modern. For a while, it worked perfectly. The brand felt both familiar and new at the same time. And then, almost without warning, it disappeared from that space, leaving behind only the memory of how unexpected it all felt. What makes these products so interesting isn't just what they were, but how easily they fit into everyday life. They didn't stand out as strange or unusual at the time. They were simply part of the routine, part of the background of growing up in the 1970s. And that's what makes looking back on them now so fascinating. They remind us that every decade has its own version of normal, even if it doesn't stay that way forever. Everything I featured today is linked in the description below. Go check it out. If this took you back, click the one on your screen. It's all the things $1 bought you in 1975.